Hey guys, this video is all about paper solving. We are going to see theory paper. This is the latest examination paper and the paper code is 0478/12 May June series 2021. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to get the best content for a start now.
Hey
Hey
guys,
guys,
welcome
welcome
back
back
to
to
Introducing the Given Data. In today's video, we are going to teach you the concept of
low-level language.
theory,
That
that
is
is
security and
security and
data.
data.
Let's
Let's
discuss.
discuss.
Coming to the first question, a denary value can be converted into hexadecimal and binary. Complete the table to show the hexadecimal and 8-bit binary values of the given denary values. So if you doesn't know how to convert a denary value into a hexadecimal or 8-bit binary or vice versa, click the card on your screen right now or check the channel page for this chapter explanation video. So moving on, the conversion of denary number 49 to hexadecimal is 31 and the 8-bit binary of the denary value 49 is 00110001. For the denary value 123, the hexadecimal value is 7B and the 8-bit binary is 01111011. And for the denary value 200, it is C8 and the binary value is 11001000. So moving to the B subdivision of the question, give two benefits to users of converting binary values to hexadecimal. So the first benefit is that it is easier to understand and are quicker to read. If you see here, the hexadecimal value of the denary value 49 is just 31, but the binary value is like 00110001. So 31 is pretty easier to understand than this one. That's the first benefit of hexadecimal. And the second benefit is that it takes up less screen space. For the hexadecimal value to be displayed, it just takes 2 digits, but for this binary, it takes 8 digits. So you can save a lot of screen space from this. And the C subdivision is hexadecimal is used to represent hypertext markup language, which is HTML, color codes in computer science. Identify three other ways that hexadecimal is used in computer science. There are actually many ways that hexadecimal is being used in computer science, but the three common ways that I have noted here is MAC address, URL, and assembly language. But it's okay to write even like IP addresses and etc. So this is the end of the first question. Let's move on to the next question.
Before moving on to the next question, if you need help in economics, business, accountings, in AS level and IGCSE level, and science chapter explanatory videos, do check out Crazy Cambridge. The link is in the description. We have a special playlist on pseudocode basics where we will be teaching you to write pseudocode from scratch. They are made into playlist and you can view them. They are short and up to the point so you can rely upon this. We also have different playlists dedicated to increase your marks in exam. So check the playlist section in our channel page.
Coming to the second question, data storage can be magnetic, solid state, or optical. A. Six statements are given about data storage. Tick to show if the statement applies to magnetic, solid state, or optical storage. Some statements may apply to more than one type of storage. So the first statement is no moving parts are used to store data. Of course, it's only the solid state. And the second statement is bits and LANs are used to store data. The magnetic storage device uses magnetic plates to store data. The solid state use series of NAND chips or flash memory to store data. It's only optical storage devices that use bits and LANs to store data. So we have to take the optical storage device. The third statement is data is stored on platas. Of course, as said before, the magnetic platas are being used only by the magnetic storage devices. And the fourth statement is flash memory is used to store data. It's the solid state device. Parts are rotated to store data. As said before, the magnetic storage device uses magnetic platas which is being constantly rotated, and then the optical storage device where the series or the disk is being constantly rotated to read the data. And then the sixth statement is data can be stored permanently. All the three data storage types can store the data permanently. So coming to the B subdivision, the first one is give an example of magnetic storage, which can be like the HDD, which is hard disk drive. The second one is give an example of optical storage. We can write CDs, Blu-rays, and etc. The third is identify which type of storage would be the most suitable for use in a web server and justify your choice. So we can either use HDDs or SSDs. So I have taken SSDs. So justification for it is that, if we take a large web server, like say a company like Google or Amazon, they just receive tons and tons of requests each and every day. So that means the solid state drive should be faster in the read and write operations to handle such a large volume of traffic. And the second is the solid state device are more energy efficient. When you take such a big web server, that a large database, the operational cost of it will be reduced drastically when it is more energy efficient. And even the solid state device will run cooler, so it will not overheat, so even the operational cost then will also decrease. Because if you take large databases or web servers, they used to spend a lot of money in cooling to, like, control the temperature of it. So when solid state devices runs cooler, of course it's going to save a lot of money for them. And the C subdivision is describe the operation of USB flash memory and how it stores data. So a USB flash memory is like the data is flashed onto silicon chips and uses the NAND NOR technology, same as the use of flip-flops. It is somewhat similar to the SSDs, and the USB flash memories also uses the transistors and control gates to control the flow of electrons within them. So this is how the USB will store data. So this is the end of the second question. So let's move on to the third question. Coming to the third question, which I felt really interesting, which is consider the logic statement x is equal to, and they have given a statement, and A is draw a logic circuit to represent the given logic statement. We have to draw a logic circuit for this statement. So it's going one by one, not A. So we have to first draw a NOT gate, and the NOT gate will just take one input, which is A, and then an output. And this output from the NOT gate should be connected to an AND gate, where the second input of the AND gate is B, and that's what we are doing here. And the output of this AND gate should be connected to an OR gate, where the second input of this OR gate is C. That's why we are just drawing a line from C to this OR gate, and the output of this AND gate is also connected to this OR gate. And the output of this OR gate is should be connected to an AND gate, where the second input of this is B, and that's what we are doing here. And then the output of this AND gate should be connected to an NOR gate, where the second input is B or C. So we'll just draw the circuit for B or C, which is B, where an OR gate is being connected to two inputs, which is the B and C, and this output should be connected to an NOR gate with with this AND gate's output. So as we all know, a NOR gate is just a OR gate with the circle in the front. So that's what we are doing, and that's it. The statement has been completed, which is equal to x day. So we can just connect the output of this NOR gate to the x, and the logic circuit has been completed. And if you have done this correctly, then you can just easily grab 6 marks from this. Yeah. So moving to the B subdivision, consider the completed truth table for the given logic statement. There are 4 errors in the truth table in the output X column. Identify the 4 incorrect outputs. Write the row number to identify each incorrect output. So if you are just going to do each and every one, it's going to take a lot of time. So I'll just tell you which rows are the incorrect ones. The row 2, the row 3, the row 7 and row 8 are the incorrect ones. And I'll show you, and I'll just prove this for the row 2. I'll just say why the row 2 is incorrect. So we'll just substitute these values in the top logic circuit which we have drawn. So A is 0, B is 0, and C is 1. So A is 0, B is 0, C is 1. So 0 when passed into a NOT gate will become 1, and then 1 and 0 when goes inside an AND gate it will become 0. So 0 and then 1, since C is 1, so 0 and 1 inside an OR gate is 1. So 1 and a 0, 1 and 0 inside an AND gate is 0. Here 1, so B is 0 and C is 1. So inside this OR gate it will give the output 1. So 1 and here 0 inside an OR gate will give you 0. But here in the row they have said x is equal to 1, but x is equal to 0, so this row is incorrect. And if you substitute these values for this third row, the seventh row and eighth row, you will notice that the x values are wrong. So you can just, I'm just leaving on to you to just check it. So yes, this is the end of the third question. Let's move on to the next question. If you are new here, this channel is all about educative stuffs. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell and smash that like button for instant updates.